Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We are playing on a new patch. Patch 1.0.1.0 has just landed upon us, and it includes a number of minor changes, a couple of quality of life changes, some skill changes, some legendary item changes, and a couple of more minor things, and it is a preparation for the expansion that is yet to come. So I'm not gonna go over all the details, but I'm gonna give you at least a couple of highlights that are relevant to us. Patch notes are not too long, and especially if the unique items part, that takes up most of the space, but it's only relevant, of course, if you actually use those uniques. So outside of that, the patch notes are actually pretty darn readable. So for us, the biggest change is that Counter-Strike got a pretty strong buff. It now has 12% weapon damage in addition to all the other bonuses, and the bonus to retaliation damage now scales up better. To compensate for the increase in power, the energy usage also scales up a little bit now with level, but 1.7 energy per second for all of the goodness that you get from this. That's pretty nice. Oh yeah, also the chance to activate got boosted by 5%. So before it was 22%, now it is 27% at level 20. I think it's based on the max level. So Counter-Strike, of course, one of our AoE skills. It's pretty nice that it got buffed. For the rest, across all items, all skills, everything, armor reduction. Is it? Yeah, armor reduction as a stat got removed. So no longer it is possible to remove or reduce armor on monsters. Might be some part of a rework of how monsters are going to work, something like that. Or it might be that it was just a mechanic that was causing problems. Either way, it's been removed, and in places it's been replaced with either a small defensive bonus or some small offensive bonus, or some skills didn't even get a replacement at all. So if you're suddenly wondering, hey, where's my armor reduction? It's gone, and you probably got something else in return. Across the board, some of the devotions that we don't use, they got small buffs. So of course we're probably using some pretty decent ones already. And other than that, it's not a really large amount of changes. Just realized I forgot to actually spend my leveling points from hitting 82 last episode. So that's it. So let's just glance over. Some recipes got changed. That's Allurance Blood and Vicious Spikes. I think they are now slightly easier to make. So that's gonna help with your crafting things. Also, we are surrounded here, but I suppose there is a corpse fire, the reflective over here, who of course is gonna be the focus of our attention. Okay, that's a fair amount of damage. Wait. Asperia, yes, you.
That skill's not ready.
I tend to not like casters very much. They tend to be a bit more potent than the meleers. Okay. I must say, they are doing some decent burst damage here, but all of them. Let's overguard against this. Triggering all the procs, just trying to resist drinking a potion, see if we can make this with our regen. And from the looks of it, we can. Dang, they are doing a boatload of damage here though. Okay, and another overguard. I think we are slowly moving towards the clear. We can out-tank whatever they're trying to do to us. And Asperia will fall. Just grab the items just to make it less confusing. And over here, I think I saw you apply your reflective to your friends. I don't really like that you make your friends reflective. Might not be doing a lot of damage, but of course, if you're using my own damage against me, well, that's my strategy. Can't let you do that. That's just mixing things up too much. Another thing, while we are waiting for Corpse Fire to die, another thing is that some of the activated abilities on the devotion tree, apparently if you attached those to summonable minions, you got a lots of value out of it. It would trigger quite often, much more than intended. So the devs have now put a shared cooldown on those abilities if you let them be used by things like the wind devils of the shaman and other kinds of summonables. From what I understand, I've not used the strategy myself, so I'm not entirely sure what the specifics are, but that's it. And yeah, some skills have been slightly buffed. I don't think anything got really nerfed. But I think, if I remember reading correctly, I didn't actually add it to my notes, but if I remember reading it correctly, then Bloody Pox on the Occultist got a substantial bonus. And also got a couple of mechanical changes with some cooldowns. So if you're using that skill, now have a look at it and see if it still works the way you expect it to work. But other than that, it's just a run-of-the-mill patch. I actually waited for a day to see if they maybe would add a hotfix because they accidentally broke something. It has happened in the past, but I haven't seen anything. So I'm assuming it was indeed not as sweeping as some of the previous changes, and therefore no less opportunities for bugs to creep in, which is good. We're making our way through the plains of Strife today. Goal is to at least tag the waypoint on the other side. And then next episode we're heading back and we're doing the Obsidian Throne. That's it's always a nice two-step. Doing the Obsidian Throne itself is generally a run that is worth an episode by itself. Maybe I should target the obelisk here just to see if we actually do some decent damage now. We're doing a little bit of damage, but we're still not very great at just mowing down large enemies. Now, of course, Counter-Strike, it's nice AoE attack, so if things attack us and we Counter-Strike, that is more damage that we do to the obelisk. That Hulk is nice. That Hulk is just gonna trigger the Counter-Strike quite a lot. I wonder if the icon, if that maybe just Counter-Strike doing its thing. Because on the smaller foes you never really notice it, because most mobs just die when they take one hit of retaliation. Yes, come on. Keep attacking me. All of you. You can do it. Okay. Even these larger zombies, they just die before they really get an opportunity to attack me. It's really difficult. If you want to see if a specific effect just has a specific graphic and monsters just keep dying before they really have an opportunity to do any harm or actually trigger. But every once in a while you do see it just flash, so it might be that is actually the effect. But of course, effects, they get scaled in size with the model of whatever they're applying to. And that's why on the large flash hulks, it actually looks... You really see it, because they're large and they are sturdy, so they're actually likely to survive the Counter-Strike. Hello, Iron Side Hulk. Yeah. On these fellas, you don't see the effect, for example. Still haven't entirely made up my mind yet whether it's the Counter-Strike or whether it's just an Iron Sight or a Hulk effect. Graphics in games. It's always a little bit of a mystery to figure out what exactly does what. Okay. You dead yet? And there we are. Okay. Should be getting into the mine area relatively soonish. So, have to be a little bit on guard for that. Okay. We are pretty much getting swarmed, but I don't really feel threatened, which is interesting. Oh, I wanted crystal. Okay. I had to say it, then we get an ethereal abomination digging its way out of the crystal floor. But if it's the only one, then it's not really gonna do much to us. It's pretty cool though that it's got two heads. Never realized. And does it have a lot of health? Or my damage is actually 10,500 damage per second when I'm now in combat and some combat abilities have kicked in and things like that. Not doing too bad. But we're definitely skewed towards the survival and outlasting side of things. Okay, come on. Nearly there. 3 more pixels. And that was that. Oh, I wonder if their health actually just doesn't completely decay down to 1 pixel. But if it's though near the bottom, that it will just go. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna ignore the big dude. And we're just gonna go over here. Ooh, a mesmer. Just drag them along a little bit. But just, yeah, not focus too much on the really big, healthy things that just take ages to kill if we don't strictly need to. So, where did the mesmer go? I distinctly remember that there used to be a mesmer here, and now it's gone. Ah, there. Football. Okay, just overguarding here. So there's enough ground effects of things going on that are doing quite some damage. Let's pay a little bit of attention to positioning here. All the while having a look at where the heck the football is. There you are. And the question is, which of the two is the real one? That's the one is the real one. Yes, you are. Then we knock it down and then we have a bit of an opportunity to just go after it. Knock it down again. Wait, you resisted my knockdown? Ah, or I missed. That's more likely. So as long as we keep knocking down the football before it spawns copies, then we can effectively just keep kicking it around. It's the most effective way to deal with the mesmer. And not possibly similar things that can clone themselves. You keep them crowd controlled. They can't really do much against you. It's kind of funny how these pretty heavily armored zombie ethereal thingamajigs, early on they are pretty strong, pretty tanky enemies that you really have to focus on to take down. And now at this stage we can ignore them and they will kill themselves on reflection and retaliation alone. We don't even have to pay attention to them. And it is a big guy like the Hulk that is gonna take a little bit more attention. Nice. And we have reached the Necropolis. So we're about 15 minutes into the episode. As I said, it's gonna be too much time to go back and have a look at the obsidian throne, because that's quite a large area. So instead what we're gonna do is we're just gonna look for the other waypoint here in the Necropolis. That's no, pleasantly surprised by how fast we went through the plains of Strife. So I might as well just tag another waypoint. We are getting much closer now to where we need to be. Hello there. It's actually the Dominator. I wonder if it's just simply a razor with a fancy name, or whether it actually has some sort of mind control capabilities. No, in a game like Game Dawn, where you don't really use too many minions or too many friendlies, having a Dominator or a monster with mind control capabilities in the game as an opponent doesn't really make a lot of sense, because there's not a lot of for them to actually mind control, with the exception of the player character, which, as far as I understand, is mostly just immune to things like that, or no, effects like that just don't get used. I don't think there's even fear effects in the game that affect players. No, that make you forcefully run away or things like that take control out of your hands. Because it's an effect that doesn't really get used all that often. It's only a couple games, but I think Diablo 3 has the nightmarish effect on the rare bosses that make you run away for like 2 steps. I don't think Path of Exile has any, and I'm not sure about Torchlight. But as I say, it's a effect that doesn't get used all that often, because most of the time players don't really like it if control gets taken away from them. And there is the Smith. Always in town here, Horus. So each smith has something specific that they can craft, or some specific bonus. In the case of Horus, he can transmute the special craftable items into each other. So you can make tainted brain matters out of blood of Cthulhu, which is actually pretty darn potent. I have a decent amount of blood of Cthulhu. I don't really have a lot of tainted brain matter, so if I would say, no, just make 1 or 2 out of those. And just balance it a little bit. We got 3 brains, we now have 3 bloods. At least if I need to craft something, I have some. EV shards, that's always a bit of a balance, just depending on what you need out of it. And something that is not... it's actually listed in the tooltip here. I never realized it was in the tooltip. So each blacksmith has a specific bonus to it, and that's also the choice early on between the 2 blacksmiths depends on the bonus that you get from it. In this case, if you craft something via Horus, then you get some energy regen, some bleeding resistance, and some vitality resistance. And each blacksmith has its own set of bonuses that way. So that is rather nice. That's also a reason for, besides the ability to make rare crafting materials, the specific bonus, if you need bleeding and vitality resistance, Horus is your guy to try to craft some rare items for you. Oh, speaking of crafting materials, one of the big things that is in with the new patch is the ability for devotion shrines to use materials directly out of your stash rather than you having to go back to town. It will try to take it out of your personal stash or your shared stash. So that is a massive quality of life improvement. Because of course, most people tend to keep their materials stashed away in the stash to share it with all the characters. So having to go to town to just clean out your inventory or to pick up specific items for devotion shrines, and not the greatest of ideas. Okay. Okay. You guys, you seem hungry. Let's just take you out before you try to bite me. Never turn your back on something that has a very large teeth and looks like it wants to devour you. That's, yeah, not the healthiest of strategies. Wait, I think I'm drifting a bit too far to the east because we do have the Black Sepulchre at some point. Yeah, exactly. It's already getting unlocked on the map, the crypt there, but that's where we're gonna go another time. Not now, in the future. For now, let's just see if we can work our way around things a little bit and get to the next waypoint. Armed with a general sense of a direction most of the time, and do end up where I need to be. That is the nice thing of having played through the game a couple times before. You get a feeling of where you need to be. You don't exactly remember where I need to be, but I have a feeling, and the feeling is usually enough to get me roughly where I need to be. And no, you might end up discovering something that you haven't seen before on the way there. That's always nice. Hello everybody. There's a fight going on. I have no idea who's fighting who, but I'm sure I can just participate and just punch everybody. Seems like a good idea. I think in the end it's Mind Rager that is the only one left. Ta-da! And there is the waypoint. A little bit up ahead. I think this was a guarded waypoint, so we're gonna have a nice fight here. Exactly. Fiends spill out. Oh no. Okay, let's see. That's at least 2 heroics. Summersden and something else. So you're just a yellow. You're 87. You're 88. Okay. Also, yeah, you're okay. You're also melee. Ooh, that was a nice bit of spike damage. About 5,000 points of spike damage. Let's just keep overguarding here, because this is a little bit of a tougher fight. Okay, and the frozen dude, he just keeps tracking me. That's good. I like it when health of foes just goes down nice and slow together, so that when you take out one, you take out everybody. And of course we maximize our counter-strike damage. Can we... yeah, nice. Okay, let's switch targets because the other one is nearly dead. Exactly. And that, ooh, another 2. More loot, yes, Jarn Deroff and the other dude, both 88s. And you get one other tyrant dude, okay. Yes. Wen Kazul, the Hungering Blade. Okay, there's a fair amount of damage coming in. The meteors appear to be among the least dangerous bits. Okay, we get some more added demons. Okay. Because I got so surrounded, I wasn't particularly concerned with optimizing the time it took to kill all of them at the same time. I just wanted to get all one down. Why are you not doing anything, Mr. Tyrant? You used to letting your minions do your bidding for you? Well, that's not gonna help you much. Well, what we did do is liberate the portal.
Took you long enough. There I thought I'd have to save the world all by myself.
Of course, we've seen this before, so we can just skip through it. We get another bit of Black Legion reputation. I like it. We still need a boatload, and I probably have to end up running some bounties for the Black Legion in order to get this up. But okay, so ethereals, they are nemesis. So far, I haven't seen anything that looked nemesis to me. So that's we'll just have to see whether that's gonna spawn or whether I have to actually start hunting specifically for one of those. Because I do want to face down at least one nemesis monster, but of course that can wait for somewhere into the future. But for now, we have made it to the Necropolis, so we are within arm's reach now of the Logorian. But before that, I do want to wrap up a couple of things. So next episode, we're gonna go back to the Plains of Strife, enter the Obsidian Throne. We have a Banegrov to slay for the our friends at the Order of Camus Chosen. We have a Spirit of Mogdrogon to find for the Roari Legacy. That's gonna get us the Avatar of Mogdrogon unlocked somewhere along the Astrakhan Road here. Or the valley, to be more specific. And after that, we could probably do another episode with just the some side areas and some side quests. So now we do all of the last little bits of things before we actually head into the Tomb of the Watchers and go after the Logorian. But we're getting close, so it's only a matter of a couple more episodes before we know whether we can actually defeat the final end boss of the game, or whether we came all this way only to die at the last bit. But for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.